Okay, beetroot relish. Beetroot relish is a beautiful accompaniment to go with our 3-cheese souffle tart. We have some lovely ingredients in front of us. We have some fresh raw beetroot, a lovely Granny Smith's apple, a small onion, some fresh ginger, which is optional, some salt, some light soft brown sugar, and some white wine vinegar. The beauty of this recipe is that it all goes into one pot and you cook it down nice and slowly to maximise the flavour from the beetroot and the ginger. So into my pan, I'm going to add my vinegar. So this is white wine vinegar. Also, I'm going to add my soft light brown sugar. You could use normal caster sugar if you wanted to, or you could use maybe a darker sugar, which would help colour the beetroot a little bit more, caramelise it, make it a little bit more stickier. Into that, we're then going to take an onion. And I've left the root on with the onion here. And the idea is that I'm just going to cut straight through that root, turn the onion flat on its side, and then cut as close as I can to the root, turning the onion around, take my knife and make 1-2 incisions. Hopefully the onion will stay together as in one piece. The idea of that being the root being left on. And then just take my knife and I'm just going to cut straight down just to create a lovely small diced onion. Now this onion I still think is probably a little bit too big for the amount I'm going to make today, so I'm just going to do a small amount of the other. Again, nice flat surface for your onion. Turn the onion around, take your knife carefully and make 2 incisions and then just slice straight down so you have your diced onion for your relish. The onion can go straight into your saucepan with your vinegar and also your sugar. Next, I'm going to take my Granny Smith's apple. I'm just going to cut it in half and into quarters. I'm going to remove the root, the centre, the core. Place that to one side. I'm going to take my grater and using the skin of my apple, I'm going to use that as a guidance to how far I can grate the apple. So you'll see in a minute, the more you grate it, you should just be left with the actual skin of the apple. There's one. Two. Three. And finally the last piece of apple. All of the juice, don't squeeze the apple out, keep all of that lovely juice from the apple. A little tap off, and that too can go straight into your saucepan. Next will be some ginger, so fresh ginger. I'm using a microblade grater here, and this can be finely grated into your mixture as well. You could use a coarser grater if you wish to, or you could chop it. Once you've grated your ginger, add to the mix. And then finally, you're looking to peel and grate your beetroot. Now with the beetroot, we all know that it bleeds and it's very messy. So my advice would be always leave it to the very end to prepare. So this is a little bit more than we actually need. So I'm just going to cut the top bit off. And I'm just going to remove the outside of the beetroot with my knife. I'm going to try and leave a little bit on so I can hold on to that when I come to grating it. So same size grater, and just grate your required amount, which is just under 300 grams. And again, if you wanted to use a different colour beetroot, you could. Or you could mix together a selection of your beetroots. Raw is what you need though. You want to maximise the flavour from this relish. Okay, once you've grated your beetroot, and likewise keep all of the lovely juices for this, add that to your saucepan. And then we're going to take a spoon. Okay, so you're going to mix together your beetroot and all your lovely ingredients within your pan. Final ingredient, just a small pinch of Maldon sea salt. Turn your stove on. And what you're looking to do is to bring the beetroot, the apple, the onion, the ginger, and all the other ingredients up to the boil. Once it's brought up to the boil, you're then going to turn it down. And at this stage, I'm going to add what we call a paper cartouche. And the idea of a paper cartouche is to create some steam and just to make sure that you maximise the flavour. You're looking to reduce all of the liquid from the beetroot to make sure you have a lovely relish that you can quenelle or plate up with your tart. So onto that, I've just taken a square piece of baking parchment. I'm going to fold it in half, and then going to fold it in half again. And then the side with the open flaps, we're going to fold to the straight line. Fold it once, twice, 3 times 4. Measure your saucepan, and then with your knife, cut off the excess that you don't need. Open up, and you should have a nice round circular paper lid. Now, once my beetroot has come to the boil, add your cartouche, and what you're looking to do is to control the heat. Make sure that you don't boil it rapidly. Remember, there is sugar in there, and that sugar will slightly burn if the pan is too hot. That will take anything, depending on the quickness or the slowness you're cooking this beetroot, 20, 30 minutes. But the key thing here is to make sure that your liquid is fully reduced. We'll let it chill down, we'll let it go cold, and then we'll serve that with our lovely 3 cheese souffle tart.